The conflict in South Sudan erupted after a political standoff between the president, Salva Kiir, and his former vice president, Riek Machar, which went into full-blown war back in 2013. And there was a peace agreement in 2015, but the instabilities continued nonetheless. And the head of the UN mission in South Sudan, UNMISS, David Shearer, says this latest flare-up began as an exchange of fire between the Sudan People's Liberation Army and the Agwelek opposition forces. But it's now expanded, and he says that military operations are now taking place in civilian areas, areas mostly where people from the Shilluk ethnic group live, but they have now been forced out of their homes as a result. He's back in Juba, the capital, now after a two-day visit to two towns, Bentiu and Leah, which were among those most affected by the fighting. He's been meeting with refugees and government officials and also an UNMISS base, and he travelled to an opposition-controlled area to meet with supporters of Riek Machar, the former vice president, as well. Now, the UN says that both sides in this conflict have voiced their support for what they call an inclusive national dialogue. But in the meantime, the UN's special advisor on genocide prevention has been warning about his concerns about what's going on. He says over 52,000 South Sudanese people just in January alone fled to Uganda. And as it stands, the fighting does risk turning into a mass atrocity. Lorna Shaddick, CGTN, New York.